Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for the introduction. My name is Ignacio Ramirez. I'm the Managing Director for Winnow Solutions for Middle East and Africa. We're a company that develops tools to help chefs and operators run more profitable kitchens by cutting food waste in half. We've been around for a few years. We work with over 1,500 kitchens worldwide. And now I'm here to talk to you about our new technology that we have developed, we've been developing the last year, and that we think is going to revolutionize how we look at kitchens from a sustainability perspective, but also from a cost savings perspective. But first, let me introduce you some of our amazing users. He's BJ, he's executive chef for Armani. Samir is running the kitchens operations in Address Dubai Marina. And Spencer, who's running F&B operations kitchens in Rolf Hotels. But what do these kitchens and chefs have in common? I would say three main things. They care about the food they give to their guests. They're extremely busy, and they all waste food. And they waste food not because they're bad at the jobs, not because they don't care, but just because they lack the right set of tools to actually help them see what's going on in the bin, where the food waste is happening, and why. It's actually amazing. We've been talking about it for a while, right? But it's quite surprising that we are now providing tools to our chefs about production that we've been actually giving similar to a rooms department for the last 10 to 20 years. But let's get a step back and talk a little bit about the problem. Probably most of you already know that, but a third of the food that is produced worldwide is wasted. That it's an unbelievable issue. If we put it in a monetary value, it's about $1 trillion per year. It's a huge issue, but we don't like to see it as a problem. We want to see it as an opportunity. If we manage to pinpoint where food waste is happening and why, and we can reduce it, there's unbelievable savings that we can drive together. We've been working with over 1,500 kitchens. We've done studies with some hotels, some restaurants that we've been working together, and we've seen that restaurants waste around 20%, up to 20% of the food that they purchase every year. If we look at the data from most of our hotels, the median is about 4% to 12%. But why is this happening? It depends on the operations that you're running. It depends if you're looking at prepared and advanced operations, or you're actually looking at cook to order. But the one thing that remains constant everywhere is that the biggest opportunity lies in overproduction. A lot of the times, we're wasting food that never reach our guest. It will never reach the client. It's food that is purchase, cook, prepare, never reach the guest. But why is happening? The reality is that understanding food waste is a challenge. It's hard to measure. Traditional tracking methods fail and doesn't get analyzed. I remember like 10, 12 years ago, I was working with Martin Berasategui in Spain in a 3-Michelin-star restaurant. And once a week, he used to get the bin and throw it on the floor and show all of us what the food that we were throwing away. It's crazy, but it's true. We don't know what's going on the bin. And even though I've seen some hotels in Dubai and Ras Al Khaimah that they actually track it, it's mostly manual tracking, and it doesn't get used, it doesn't get analyzed, nothing gets out of that. But what will happen if we arm our chefs with artificial intelligence? It's the hot topic now, right? We're all talking about AI, image recognitions, and all these systems that are coming over and are going to replace human beings at some point. The reality is that when we started our company 5 years ago, that was the idea. We wanted to provide a tool that was able to recognize all the food that is being wasted in the kitchens, recognize it, assign the cost, the value, and actually provide that data back to the chefs. Sadly, at that time, machines were not smart enough to learn at the pace that we wanted to be able to do that. There's a competition every year where teams fight against each other to see which AI system or algorithm is smarter. In 2011, machines were having 26% errors. If we consider that human accuracy is about 5%, that means that the systems were actually not as smart as a human being. So why would you replace a human being for a system or AI if it's not going to work? Fast forward till today, actually, machine learning is providing 2% errors, which means that machines can see. And that's how we developed Winnow Vision. If you look at the picture, Winnow Vision is a system that sits over the bin. It has a camera and a tablet. Every time that something is being thrown away, the system learns from the user input and understands what's being thrown and actually captures what it is. to the level that is able to detect what is chicken curry or lamb curry from beef curry and detects everything. It's interesting to talk about this because when we talk about AI, AI is present everywhere now, and everyone that has a phone right now will actually pinpoint a tomato, and the system will say, oh, that's a tomato. And that's all right, that's really easy, my phone can do that. But things get really complicated when you chop tomatoes one way or another, or when you actually have to differentiate between bolognese sauce and tomato sauce, or gazpacho, or tomato soup. That's where things get tricky. Our system right now, it's able to a certain level to recognize different food and food that is already cooked. Of course, all this data goes into the cloud. It goes into a server. Everything gets analyzed and comes back to the hotels, to the restaurants, and to the chefs with a report that's saying which food waste is being happening and why, and they actually help them drive change. We started with this dream about a year ago. We are a relatively small company. We're still a startup. So when we started with this project, we actually were obviously looking for the right partners, and we found two. We found one in quick service restaurants, which was IKEA. We've been working with them for a year, and the second one, and we couldn't have looked for a better one, was obviously Emaar Hospitality that's been working with us for a year with this. Tatiana?
Thank you, Ignacio. So I want to first thank you all for being here. Why am I here? So I'm here to describe the year-long partnership that we've had with Winnow. So why Winnow? Why did we go into this? So one, when you want to aspire to become the market leader, you have to take a leap of faith when other people are not ready to do it. And we as Emaar Hospitality Group believe that AI is the future and it will help us at some point in time customize our guest experience. So we decided to take the leap of faith with Winnow and set the trend for other hospitality groups. So as the previous talks with KPMG and Keen touched on, you need to get your house together. So obviously, as a commercial company, we were looking at our costs, and a big cost came from food waste. So as we touched upon earlier, there was a problem. We couldn't measure our food waste. We didn't know where we were wasting, what we were wasting. So if you don't know what the problem is, how can you actually solve it? So this is why in February 2018, we decided to launch our Winnow waste monitors all across our properties. In May 2018, Emaar Hospitality, along with Winnow and the Ministry of Climate Change and Environment, signed a pledge to reduce food waste in the Emirate of Dubai by 1 million meals in 2018, 2 million in 2019, and 3 million in 2020. And when I discuss our results later on, you will see our commitment to this cause. So in September 2018, Winnow comes with this initiative of Winnow Vision that they've been working on to introduce AI to future-proof our kitchens and make our kitchens and our staff smarter in realizing what food waste is. So we were the pioneers, and we signed the early adopters program. And in December 2018, we rolled out the prototype for Winnow Vision across all our outlets. So for the past few months, we've been working with Winnow Vision. The AI technology is fascinating. So, as Ignacio touched on before, and as I said, so we realized we have a problem. We wanted to get our costs together. But if you have a problem, you need to measure it. You need to quantify it. If you can't measure it, you can't solve it. So we had a problem there. We couldn't understand what was going wrong with our food production system. And this is what Winnow brought to the table. So being a nerd in data analytics myself, I was so happy to see such intricate details. In the slides that you can see, this is one example, and I'm just going to give you a more intricate example of our latest performance. That's for March 2019. So the data can be customized based on the customers' needs, requirements. We ask them to provide whatever we want, and that's what they actually do. So you can see through categorization, for example, how much our staff is complying to the system needs and requirements, and this is where you can see that you can retrain your staff or that your staff is doing well. Then you can see the waste value. Obviously, we're a commercially driven company. This is the right thing to do sustainably, but we are a commercial company, so we want to understand what's going wrong with our waste. And then you can see as well the top items. So this is where we dig deeper. So is it overproduction? Is it trimmings? What's going wrong with the process? And you dig deeper into understanding what's going wrong. And this is where we start flagging things to our chefs and our properties, and they start solving it. But on the other hand, I want to say that as a company, Emaar in general, not just Emaar Hospitality, is moving towards becoming more sustainable, more eco-friendly, because this is the right thing to do. We don't need a push to do it. And partnering with Winnow was the right thing to do for us. And you can actually see on the bottom right corner the impact on the environment. So you can see whatever each property is doing, and by saving this food waste, what our impact is. So just to take your eyes off of the data and to give you a more visual aspect. So within less than a year, across a portfolio of 12 hotels, we were capable of reducing our food waste by 225,000 kilograms. Massive number, right? Maybe you can't visualize it. But how about you think that that's almost 450 camels that we were usually throwing away every year, and now we save them? Or this is also the equivalent of 60 Asian elephants. Touching on the sustainability side of things again, it's important to know that, as you are mostly aware, that production of food requires a lot of water, and water is a scarce resource that we are looking deep into now. So by saving 225,000 kilograms of food from being discarded, we technically saved anywhere between 425 million and 450 million liters of water, which is the equivalent of 170 Olympic swimming pools. And that's in less than 1 year, a portfolio of only 12 hotels. So I want you to just visualize, if this is what we were capable of doing with such a small hospitality company, if everyone here decides to adopt this technology, where we can be going in the future. So again, touching base on our results, as you know, the UN is very big on their sustainability development goals, number 12 being the responsible consumption and production. That is technically decreasing our food waste by 50%. So our goal was to look at decreasing our food waste by 50% by around 2020. Surprisingly, the staff bought into it. We were really keen on this project, and within less than a year, we decreased our food waste by 72% across our portfolio, becoming the first company in the world to achieve this SDG number 12. And as I told you, hold the thought about the ministry's pledge to reduce food waste by 1 million meals for 2018 alone. We saved 250,000 meals. That's 25% of the Emirates' goal. So I want to put this in perspective. If we can all do this, but if we really believe in this cause and if we work together, then this is what we can achieve. Again, we're not just a sustainable, we're not a charity, we're not a non-profit organization. So we didn't just do it because it's the right thing to do. We did it because it is the commercially smart thing to do. And as you can see, across 12 properties, we were capable of saving 1.3 million dirhams. It just came out of nowhere. We were just throwing these 1.3 million dirhams in the bin. So that's, again, the impact of introducing Winnow into our properties.
To press again. Sorry.
50 years ago, you would go to a hotel room, and the hotel room would be more modern than most homes. Today, it's different, right? Homes are usually more modern than hotel rooms. We've lost a bit of our innovation edge, and we want to revive this. I'm Olivier Harnisch. I'm taking care of Emaar Hospitality as a CEO. Emaar Hospitality is the hospitality unit of Emaar Properties, which is one of the biggest real estate companies in the region. We want to challenge the industry. We have a lot of opportunities to do that. And one of them is to become the most innovative hospitality company in the Middle East. And for us, innovation means being the best at combining the power of technology with the warmth of human service. Innovation is related to technology. So things like food waste, for example, and artificial intelligence that is used is supporting this ambition. We have realized that in our hotels, a lot of food was wasted. Winnow has a great reputation in this field, and we recognize that Winnow would be the perfect partner for us in implementation, in planning. The results really exceeded our expectations by far. We reduced food waste by 72%, which is amazing. I believe AI can really help us become better and better in customizing guest experiences. So we are the first hotel chain in the UAE to have embraced the future kitchen, and we feel great about it because we like to be first, in many things. We like to be innovative. We like to inspire the rest of the industry. And I think by doing this, and by having achieved these great goals, we will do so, and many other hotel companies will follow suit. Sustainability is one of the essential aspects of our business, not only because it's the right thing to do, but what is interesting also is that it's a strong requirement from our guests also. So we will use technology extensively. We'll also make sure that the human factor remains. And blending these two in an excellent manner is, I believe, a great opportunity in the hotel industry.
So Emaar is currently leading the fight against food waste in the UAE, and we believe that by embracing technology together, we can revolutionize the food system. Thank you very much, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you for coming. If we did it, you can do it. So please follow suit. Thank you so much.